Sucking on my own dick, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
All right,
It's real. I'm just saying, it's really funny to walk into your room and just see two wrapped tasty cake pastries just next to your pillows like teddy bears.
I
Just like stuffed
look,
animals?
I found a. I was doing a bit. I went to that. I was taking a picture for the for Instagram where I thought it'd be funny to go to that store called Philly's Best and take a picture in front of it to anger Philly comedians on Instagram. I think it's working. Not a lot of likes so far. But anyway, they had tasty cakes there.
Right. So you bought some and said, I should go home and put these on my bed.
No, I came home and the plan was to clean before you got here, but then I lost track of time. And now, doesn't this room look bad? This room looks like the inside of my brain, doesn't it?
It looks bad. Yeah, you have so many, like, you're not throwing the soda cans are just collected. There is an order to them.
Well, first of all, I am proud to say that none of these cans contain anything but soda, which is really speaking to my mental well-being.
What is, you just mean that you're not drinking alcohol?
No, I mean that they're not full of piss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
There have been times.
That's such a weird bar.
Look, I don't have any piss in my room. That's what I tell girls when they come over.
There's no piss in here.
And in here is where I do not ever piss.
I remember.
I've pissed in here before, but not often.
You've pissed in here before?
Yeah, into like a Gatorade bottle or something.
Why?
Because
Brendan, the bathroom is 2 feet away from you.
you've never like woken up and been like, if I see lights, I will wake up fully. But if I just loosen up this Gatorade, piss in there, a Gatorade, that's a girthy hole, you know?
Not that you need it.
Gatorade, look at a Gatorade bottle. That's a thirsty bottle.
That is not
That
normal.
bottle wants to be filled up.
Stop. You don't get to do this. That's so abnormal.
Nah, this is just dude stuff, man. What are you, some kind of chick? You don't fucking piss in bottles like me and my bros? You don't fucking sit here and listen to a baseball game on the radio and just piss?
You don't even need to be homeless. You don't. I take a lot of shit a lot of shit for being homeless at one point in my life, but you live you live so comfortably and you're still just doing like psychotic bum things.
I am the perfect boy with the golden brain. This is what everyone says.
That is insane. How often are you doing that? Are you pissing in your room?
Once every couple months.
No, it shouldn't be that much even.
That's not that much.
I mean, it should be 0.
Someone's going to tweet in and back me up on that not being that much. And also, I've never spilled it in this house, which is not true of all the houses I've lived in.
Please tweet at us and let us and give us.
That was back
back
in
me up.
That was back in the drinking days, though.
Yeah, well, no.
I
When
told
you were
story-
drinking, you used to just like shit onto your shirts.
Yeah, well, I told that story on here, but also, sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night. I would have no idea where I was. Just wake up. It's the night. Terror.
Yeah.
And I would realize I have to pee. I'd grab a bottle, start peeing in the bottle. Oh no, the bottle's full.
Right.
Let me try to get the other bottle, but that. What? Oh, I remember why this would happen. It would be because I would pick up a bottle, not realize that I had already woken up and pissed in it, so it would be mostly full, and then I would go to piss in it, and it would just spill over, and I would have to like quick switch to a different.
Here's my question: why are these bottles lasting into the next night? Why are you pissing into bottles and then like leaving?
Well, because Nick, I'm neglecting myself.
Yeah, okay. I don't. It just seems like I don't like having
Nick,
bottles.
You are the only other person. The only other living thing that enters this room.
I know. But I don't even like when bottles are full of liquid that's not my piss, right? I'm like, that's a hazard. I have to make sure that these bottles are empty.
Well, most of them would have the caps on them.
Okay. That's somehow is worse. It somehow is worse to seal your piss.
Because you seal it on tight. sealed on tight, thinking I'm never gonna piss in here again, and then you find yourself pissing in there again. So you unscrew it, and by then you're pissed. Some kind of chemical reaction has happened where you open it and it sounds like a brisk like.
I think you're just a creature of it because you've talked about you used to pee in bottles because you like didn't want your family to know that you were drinking, right?
Yeah.
So I think that when you just start doing something, your brain is like, well, I have a ritual now.
I do like rituals.
But look at what your rituals are.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you're gonna summon some shit with these rituals.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is not a ritual. I have not peed in here in a long time. It's probably been 3 months, I would say, at least. Perhaps more.
You shouldn't be peeing in this house. You should not be peeing in this house anywhere that's not a toilet. You are 27 years old.
I'm not sure if I agree.
I mean, okay, take it up with the other people who live here.
Oh no, don't tell them.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell them, but you might have an inkling that you shouldn't be doing that. Had you not considered that?
No, I've never told anyone about it before.
Of course not. Because you know that it's bad.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was going to say that I relate to in your story is I understand waking up and not knowing where you are. It happens to me. It's so because it happens like once every 6, but I'll be in my room and I'll just wait, and for a full like 5 minutes I won't recognize, and then I'll be like, oh, it's the room that I live. Like, where did I think I was going to be? My crib? Like, I don't know what I thought.
Have you ever done that? That's happened to me before where like I wake up and in my brain I'm like imagining a different room I used to have around me, and then I open my eyes and I'm like, oh, I'm here.
No, sometimes it's like, and this could be a sign of something creepy. I've been having these memories because when I was really young, I used to get these
too much acid.
No, it's pre-acid. No, when I was really young, it might mean that I'm like predisposed to mental illness, like my great grandfather was.
Yes,
but I remember these like times when I was like 4 through 6, where I would stop feeling like I was living my own life, and it would feel like I was watching my life on TV. Very weird, just dissociation, basically. And sometimes I'll have it. I don't know how else to describe it. And sometimes I'll have that where, like, even when I haven't been asleep, I'll kind of just like not recognize everything around me for like a minute or two, and then it'll come back into focus.
Is this what it's like to be you on the pod?
What do you mean?
Just sitting here reeling in confusion and horror?
I mean, look, at least even when I don't understand if my life is my own or not, I'm keeping my dick in my pants and I'm peeing where I'm supposed to.
All right, I'll give you that.
You're fully in control. You're in it, and you're doing this stuff.
I'm just, I'm leaning in. I'm just a mess. Who gives a shit?
All right.
Who cares?
You have to, Brendan, be careful about pissing in the house. Okay?
Look. There is so much cat piss in this house. And that went on the floor. Wait, are you saying the cats are better than me? Are you saying the cats should have more freedom than me, a man who pays rent?
You make a lot of good points. You make some great points. Look, I have no skin in this game. All right,
true.
This is completely. I'm just trying to help a friend out.
Yeah.
If like I don't have to nudge you in one direction or the other, and maybe I'll stop doing that. Maybe next time you tell me that you're storing your excrement in jars for.
I'm not shitting in bottles, and also I so rarely piss in bottles.
It's not okay. All right, that's fine.
How many times a year do you think I piss in bottles?
Well, if I had to extrapolate, at minimum 4 times a year.
I think that's about dead on.
Yeah. You just said it was every 3 months.
Maybe, somewhere between 3 to 5 times.
Okay.
Which, honestly, is not that bad.
What other things do you do that you think that you suspect people might not love?
I don't even know. Normally, I can't even tell. It's only after I share it that I learn.
See, here's the difference.
Have you noticed me doing something particularly confident recently that you want to tear down?
No, I know. It's just It is this, and by the way, here's the difference between you being me and me being you. Is the stuff that I share. I'm aware. I'm like, I know that this isn't going to go over well. You are surprised that people react as badly.
Like, I thought I was an everyman.
No,
that was one of my lines. Like,
you are like no other man.
You know that period in stand-up where like you're starting to be self-aware that you're bad,
yeah,
but you're not enough that you can be good at all. I used to like when I completely lost a room, my way of getting them back would be like, yeah, my friend, he recently told me, he said, I love the way that your comedy is all about being like a weirdo and an outsider. And I was like, oh no, I thought I was connecting.
Right. I remember this.
I thought I was an everyman. Oh no.
That's a funny. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I saw you do that.
Probably.
That's a funny joke. It's
Did
funny.
you ever see me start to bomb and then panic?
No, I think I saw you do it like during like a good set.
Huh. Yeah, that may have just been one of my lines then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to have a couple lines.
It's
in
good
the-
to. I like to have 2 to 3 lines in my act, and then I get off stage. You know.
the line in my act that, and I like it more than I like the joke, is where I go. We don't like racism, right? When nobody really responds. I'm like, I mean, if we do, I can change my set,
I
which
like
is
that.
so much better than the joke that follows it.
I
Like,
agree.
it's like I have to come up with a better joke about racism just so I can have that part in the front. This is how
Yeah,
reverse engineered my comedy is. I like have it's basically a tag in the front.
Yeah. So you need to like sit down at a notebook and write and rewrite and take it to mics and rework it and take it to other mics and then take it to a show for it to not work, and then you organically come up with something brilliant, and then you just have to cut it off there and try to work backwards.
That's what I do. That is literally actually that the new 5 minutes that I have been doing at Mike's for the first time is like hitting after I've written it, and I'm like, oh, good, I meant to do this one. This came out the way that I wanted it to.
Nice.
It's not good. Ugh.
Damn.
Did you were sharing the I don't want to dive right in. You were sharing the Corey Feldman documentary in the chat.
Yeah.
I am excited for it. But I said this in the chat. Do you think it's weird that Corey Feldman, because Corey Feldman has been accused of drugging and raping Corey's angels a lot.
I didn't
you
know
read-
about that, but that sounds true.
Yeah. I listened to one of them. One of them was on a podcast. They were talking about how he like drugs and rapes the angels. Which is
Why would he call them that? He knew how that was going to sound.
dude, I don't know. It's just I love that he's a rapist hunting pedophiles. Like he has his problem is just like
he's like a werewolf hunting vampires or something.
Yeah. It's just like I love that
I'm
his,
imagining him in a sick duster coat, fucking silver bullets.
his problem is like, Jesus, man, wait till they're 18. That's his whole issue, and he's like,
which in Hollywood makes him like a moderate.
Yes, he's a centrist.
He's
in
the middle of
Hollywood.
the road.
He's like the Joe Biden of fucking.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I will vote for him if I have to. but
I don't know.
I would prefer it be Alex Jones.
I started.
Alex Jones is Bernie in this scenario.
Yeah, if Alex Jones ran, I'd vote for him over Bernie because he's truly owned by no one. He's true. Alex Jones is, and he has perfect credit, which I admire because I'll never know what it's like.
All right. Yeah, he might have perfect credit, but it's like they can just measure that. Like,
What do you mean?
like when he was on Rogan saying they had to invent a new way to measure credit.
It's incredible.
That's how good my credit is. That's not how credit works. It just like taps out at 850 or whatever.
It's amazing that if your credit gets so good, the number just turns into a picture of Alex Jones' face. Your FICO score is just like a GIF of Alex Jones.
I guess that's true.
That's incredible. But the Feldman thing, I started going back, and I've changed my stance on Michael Jackson.
Uh-huh.
So it's now because I don't think you should listen to his music anymore. But I also don't think you should listen to the music that he made as a child. Because I was reading.
What?
I mean, go. What do you think?
I don't have anything. Just
Okay.
go on it.
I was gonna say I was reading, and apparently he was like really lazy, and so that's why his dad was like hitting him and stuff because he was late. He wasn't working hard. He was lazy,
Uh-huh.
and we just put him on TV and held him up like he was being a lazy boy.
So you think he was naughty?
Yeah, he was lazy. We gave him everything. He didn't work hard, so of course he is drunk with power by the time he's in his 20s and he's raping kids.
This is an interesting take.
I'm amazed that
I thought you were gonna say that your position changed, where like you thought he was innocent or you thought he was guilty, but you're like, no, my position has changed. I think exactly what I thought before, but now weirder.
yeah, basically.
That's a pretty good take.
Yeah, he was being bad from the beginning.
Yeah. You can't be bad. That's my opinion.
Not at all.
You have to be good in life. It's important to maintain honor.
I am. What was his dad's name? It's not Joe, is it?
I think it is Joe.
It's after like if it came out that Michael was raping the Joe Jackson fan, she'd be like, I knew it. She's like, I saw it, Eddie. I was trying to stop him.
Always took the easy road.
Always took the easy road. Fucking children. That is lazy. If you think about it, it is very lazy to groom children versus like formed adults.
Yeah, you're right.
Michael was always lazy.
Now, R. Kelly, there's a hard worker.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, fully lucid adult women.
No, some of them were underrated. I mean, R. Kelly, look.
Well, he was being lazy those days.
Right. R. Kelly really stepped up to the plate in recent years. Started raping adult women who are much harder to manipulate.
It's true. Wily, you might describe them as.
Yeah, you ever try to grab a woman and she just slips out of your hands like a greased up pig? just snatching at women in the air, chasing them off cliffs, looking down, realizing you're not standing on anything.
You know, that has happened to me.
You ever be chasing a woman and she paints a damn tunnel on the side of a cliff?
You go to run into the tunnel, it's a damn wall.
And you know it's bullshit because you just saw her run through the tunnel.
You're like, bitch! Bitch, you get back at. Oh, what is that, a train, bitch?
And dating these days is hard. I'm still waiting on Acme to send me a wooden crate. Trying to catch these bitches. I don't even know.
I love this character.
Yeah, it's a Looney Tune. It's if a black guy was a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's like if a black guy was Elmer Fudd and the Coyote.
Yeah. You ever see one of the old fellas go and paint his stripe black so he looks like a damn cat? Motherfucker, you stink.
Man, you ever chase a woman down a hole and then she up and pulls a fucking hole off the ground and then you stuck in the earth?
You ever be in the pussy and then she rips up the damn pussy hole and you just sealed in her?
Oh, fuck. Yep, it's hard. It's hard for that black guy.
Fellas, you ever be smelling the pussy and you done lift off the ground and float through the air?
Fellas, you ever follow the smoke, the green smoke that come out the pussy, and it smells so good that you grow little wings and fly through a window? We all know how the pussy be smoking green smoke. It's just Hotep Wile E. Coyote.
Fuck, I want to keep doing this.
Yeah. By all means.
I think I'm out.
Yeah, man. But yeah, raping children is the easy. That's basically what I took it as. It's a fucking easy way out.
I know I talk about pedophiles the same way that like dads talk about ISIS, where I'm like, they're cowards. If they were men, they'd fuck adults. They'd come fuck me.
You know that like Michael went on. He tried to go on a couple dates with women, and he just like bombed. And he went home, and he said to one of he's like, "Get me a child." He's like, "Get me somebody who hasn't even learned all of language yet."
Damn.
He was a dork.
Yeah, he was a fucking loser.
He was a loser. Neverland Ranch is it's a dork castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, can you imagine, like, just take the context and everything out of it, but, like, if you met a guy at work and he was like, yeah, you want to come over Saturday and, like, grill, watch the game or whatever, and you're like, yeah, that sounds fun, and you come over and he has a damn train in his yard.
Well, no, there's nothing worse than when you go over to a guy's house to hang out and he's, like, set up activities. He's like, well, I've got Magic. We can play Magic the Gathering from, like, 6 to 7, and then I've got N64 over here, so that might be good to play, like, a party game, and then we can all sit and watch Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and like he's like there. It's like these things. That's Michael Jackson's house.
Yeah. The kids are just like, oh, it's so structured.
Yeah, it's just like it's like all right. I guess we'll go on the train. I guess
When
we have
Steven
to be
Spielberg
on the train.
fucks us, he lets us do what we want.
Yeah, Spielberg seems like a much more relaxed pedophile.
Yeah.
But he lets them do whatever they want because they're dead at the end of the hangout session. Like it's a one and done when you go to Spielberg's
One and
you go
done.
to Skywalker Ranch with him and George.
Old George.
I mean, it is insane that Spielberg was sending Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson got early cuts of the Spielberg films sent directly to Neverland Ranch. Spielberg had to know what was going on.
Yeah. I bet there were Quaaludes in like the film canisters and shit.
Oh, yeah, dude, of course. This is what I can't tell. I can't tell if Steven Spielberg is a pedophile or if he's merely a benefactor to pedophiles.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. Honestly, I'm getting a lot of my intel about Hollywood pedophiles from you.
Well, here's the problem. You invited me into the group chat, and you're like, it's with all the film boys, and you're like, Nick, back me up on how Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. And like,
well,
from-
that's because I was bombing in the room.
Of course, and you sent me that, and like I was like, oh, people hate when I do this, but I was like, I can't leave my. No, there's actually a really interesting.
They were shutting down the Poltergeist thing hard.
They hate that. I mean, what I wasn't going to send because they hate when I send it, but like Crispin Glover wrote this essay positing this theory that Steven Spielberg is a pedophile and has anally raped young boys. Because Crispin Glover got out of Hollywood once he realized that I actually kind of like a lot of the things he had to say. Like, you know why Crispin Glover wasn't in Back to the Future 2?
No.
Because he thought that like the movie was like morally corrupt. Because like when he was in Back to the Future, he hated that the end of Back to the Future, like Marty McFly is not, he's not happy that his family's back together. He's happy that they're rich now. Like that's why he's like, I thought it was like this completely corrupt film, and he's like, and I saw this like toxic mentality invade like all of those filmmakers. Their films had these like dark agendas. So then he wrote this crazy essay that I'll send to you, where like three of the passages are just him saying that Steven Spielberg is obsessed with the fantasies of children because he wants to attract young boys so he can anally rape them.
It's a hot take.
I mean, but who would know better than him?
Who would know?
I love.
Look,
Crispin
I'm backing
Glover.
you up on this.
You got to back me up on this.
Truly,
You haven't heard about like all the people who like there was that guy who showed up to Steven Spielberg's house and tried to break in to rape Steven Spielberg as revenge. There was also a woman who yeah, it's crazy.
Did he have a costume?
No, I don't believe so. No.
That'd be sick.
There was also a woman who showed up at Steven Spielberg's house and claiming that he had put a microchip in her brain and was tracking her. That he'd like put a microchip in her brain like a decade ago.
All right, that sounds like a schizophrenic person.
Yeah, but I mean, Steven Spielberg, there's a place in DreamWorks Studios known as the Dome of Silence where Steven Spielberg goes to be alone and think. And it's a completely soundproof place. This is shit that he's talked about. The Dome of Silence. You know
You can't be having a dome of silence.
if you're listen, if you're
What's
having
happening in that dome?
if you're having a dome, it definitely cannot be a place of silence.
No.
You don't get to
A
have
dome is a place of laughter, of mirth.
I'm just saying, if you're having, there needs to be some transparency with the dome.
Yeah.
You can't have a secretive dome.
Yeah. Here's my opinion about domes. It should be the highest part of the building so everyone can see it.
Right.
It's got to have windows.
You must put windows in
You
the dome.
must put windows in the dome.
Also, like, there's no anytime that like think about like the things that are like when I think of like pleasure domes, terror domes. Like domes take place when you enter a dome. It's like entering international waters. Like something that domes are for.
Do you think he was at Epcot and he was walking around and he's like, well, I'd like to fuck a child from every country on Earth. Well, I've just had myself an idea.
He just saw the giant golf ball thing at Epcot. He was like, you could stack a lot of children in there. He's like, get me the dimensions of that big golf ball. I don't know. What is that thing at Epcot? It's just like a vaguely sinister structure.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, what is it?
You go in there and there's machines, right? There's like devices and computers.
Are there?
I think I remember that. I think you go in and that's like the future part of it.
The big ball? Because I've only ever
believe
seen like
so.
the exterior. I thought the whole thing, like, I don't know. I'm not one of those Disney people, so I don't go a whole lot.
I believe you enter the dome. And what happens in there? Who's to say?
I think that we should do away with domes as a structure.
I believe so.
I think that anything
Did
good
Notre
happens in
Dame have a dome?
No, it had spires. And
Okay.
spires are
Spires
much,
are good.
For some reason, spires are. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
like spires a little more.
Show me a dome. Put a damn spire on there. Balance it out a little.
I don't. I think that we should just. I don't even. I think a spire on a dome just wouldn't even go well together.
Yeah, it would look like a dick and balls.
It would. It would look like shit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we should, get rid of domes. Bring back cathedrals.
Yeah, you know, a cathedral. I like any. I like the idea of an organ because it's appealing to me that there's an instrument that just it takes the entire building. Everyone has to listen to you.
Yeah, and it's
They
also
have no
like,
choice.
It's also like part of the building.
Yeah,
I love that.
I want to take out a damn mortgage on my piano.
Yeah. I would love to just we should integrate instruments into buildings more. I'd love to just while I'm showing people around my house that I have one day, just knock out a piece of the drywall and there's just like a fretboard in there. Just start playing the
Yeah, I want to build like a Grateful Dead wall of sound in my living room.
Yes.
It just takes like 50 roadies all day to tear it up. Yeah, I was watching that Grateful Dead documentary. It's like it took 100 men 8 hours to, and it's like, well, yeah, you were all on acid.
Right.
Probably 10 guys could have knocked that out.
It is hilarious that just everyone was on acid.
Everyone was on acid every day. It seems impossible.
Which is impossible because the effects of acid wear off. Like you would have to still be let's say you're
they were
doing-
just like drinking acid.
Oh my god. Every time someone talks about drinking, if there's enough acid that you can feel it, feel the liquid, because you're supposed to do tiny amount, four little drops will send you. So if you ever ingest acid and you feel liquid run down the back of your throat, buddy, you are fucked.
Well, have you ever seen footage from the electric Kool-Aid acid tests?
No, I remember reading about it a little bit and I read Ken Casey's Gerald Journal where he talked about it a little bit, but no.
Well, some of the footage in this documentary, they had a punch bowl of acid, and they were just dipping down a ceremonial, almost like a shot glass size in there, and just sipping from it like communion.
Fucking god, that's way too much.
I don't know if it's watered down or what, but that's crazy.
I mean, no, you can't water acid down. I mean, maybe it was mixed with something else, but what I was always told that water actually, if you put LSD in water, it'll start to break it down.
Oh,
So I always avoided water with LSD. I mean, after I would take it, you should drink. That's the other thing is if you're doing acid, maybe some people don't have this reaction, but when you do acid, you can't eat. You can't you put food in your body doesn't understand it. You just don't. So if you're doing acid for a week, you're not eating. You're definitely dehydrated.
well, Jerry Garcia was fat as shit, so I don't know how that worked.
Maybe I could never imagine. I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess a lot of those guys were fat, and yeah, they basically split off half Coke, half acid.
It was Coke and acid.
Yeah, well, there were at different eras, there were divisions in the band where factions were more into Coke and factions were more into acid.
That's a really bad mix of people to have together. That is not.
Well, some of the
complimentary
records
each
are
other.
pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard a Grateful Dead song the other day that I didn't realize was. I don't even remember what it was. And I was like, oh, this isn't bad.
Huh.
It's the first one where I was like, this isn't bad.
I wonder what one it was.
I will never be able to find it again.
Could you describe it at all?
No. It was. I was literally just like, yeah, okay. I didn't turn it off. That was the. I don't even remember where the fuck I heard it. If it was yeah, I don't know. It might have come
Yeah.
up on a YouTube playlist.
Maybe. I should probably do acid.
At one
No.
point I thought so. At one
really
point I
should.
thought so, but then
That was a bit.
the stuff that you tell me about, you've already made so many weird connections, and the connections that you make, you might do one weird thing on acid, and then it just imprints itself permanently into your brain.
I would take it and I would just do something and go to jail. Not
You
something
think so?
horrible or violent.
You probably would jack off a lot
Probably. I'm a big jack off guy.
when you're high.
Yeah, I love coming when I'm high.
I mean, having an orgasm on acid is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about getting weed. I was gonna smoke weed on 420 because I was walking upstairs and the weed boys in the house were like, "Ah, come smoke weed," and I'm like, all right, hold on a second. And then I sat down on the couch and Googled interactions between sertraline and weed.
Oh yeah, is it bad?
It was just like, probably don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
should. Oh yeah, that's why you definitely shouldn't do acid.
Yeah.
Because you're on the brain drugs or whatever. the fuck.
SSRIs, yeah. Acid has something to do with serotonin, right?
Maybe somewhat. Acid is weird.
Mhm.
I still don't. I mean, MDMA has big to do with serotonin.
Yeah, but that depletes it, right?
Well, it releases all of it, which is why it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And then it's
But
gone.
doesn't less come back? Like, don't people who do it a lot just have less serotonin, right?
Yeah, and it's really evened me out. Let me tell you. I guess that's probably true. I don't know.
I think that's true because I remember listening to like one of the Harris Whittles "You Made It Weirds,"
Mm-hmm.
and Harris Whittles of all people was like, he was like, ecstasy is the only drug I tell people not to do because it's the only one that like legitimately reduces the amount of serotonin.
That's
you
weird
have.
because they're using it now in there. It's like it's found like big therapeutic use. They're using it on like veterans and stuff. Like,
yeah,
in
well, I mean, I
clinical
think
trials.
it has uses, but like, I don't think that's the same as like how you do it when you are
Well, it's they're just ingesting MDMA. Like I
they're
don't
just
know-
ingesting.
How would it be
They're not
different?
dosing it differently.
I don't understand how it would be like if that's the effect that the drug has is releasing all your serotonin. I mean, it might be. Here's
I
the
mean,
thing. It might
also,
be
like-
cleaner,
Yeah,
right? There might be less meth in it, but I don't think meth is the.
No, but I think I think when people run into problems with ecstasy, it's like when they do it like a lot of times. I don't think they're like making veterans roll every weekend.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like so the idea But they do it multiple times.
Yeah, yeah.
So like all I'm saying is like you could like doing it once I'm sure doesn't permanently, or if it does, it's like there are a lot of things you can do that permanently do something to your brain that
Yeah,
are
yeah. I
not
mean,
noticeable.
blacking out is so bad for your brain, and I did that so many times.
I know. What does that do exactly to your brain? Do you know?
I don't even know if anyone knows, but it can't be good.
Because I remember all they would like the big thing in school was like, oh yeah, every time you drink, you kill brain cells, which I don't even know if that's true. Like that, I think that like it doesn't sound
I
like
think
it
it
makes
might
sense.
be true, but I don't know if like quantity of brain cells is the most like meaningful way to.
Because then you make new. It's like
I
the brain cells thing always felt like a scam to me.
I don't think you do make new brain cells. I think because like they say like every 7 years you're a new person. I think like parts of the brain that's not true.
So how come? Here's my question: with all the drinking you did, why does your brain work at all? Right? Like, how are all your brain cells not dead?
Because I didn't drink that much, but like you can see like old alcoholics who have legitimately pickled their brain. Like they just are retarded now.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I used to hang out sometimes around like old hippies, and just like old alcoholic hippies are strange
Yeah.
because they just like they have just blacked out for so long, and part of that was maybe acid with those guys too.
Yeah,
But like, it's like that shit. Like, yeah, you might be all right now, but like, add 5 decades on that.
But what I'm saying is, if every time you drink, I just don't understand the science. But alcohol kills brain cells because, like, if it's killing millions of brain cells or whatever they say, right? Like, wouldn't just somebody who drinks who doesn't have a drinking problem permanently damage their brain through a life of like casual drink? Like,
I have no idea.
yeah, this is where I, like all the information.
You're right,
is,
Nick. Drinking's good. I'm gonna start.
No, I'm interested in. It seems like the effects of drugs on your brain. It seems like there's a lot of false information out, or just information that is deliberately vague. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm skeptical of that. I'm
Well,
also
you hate soft drugs. Like you hate weed.
Well,
you
no,
don't drink.
I
you
mean,
like only like hard drugs.
only liked. I have been thinking about like I haven't taken drugs in a long, and I think that I'm finally never going to again.
Mm-hmm.
Like not for any scary reason. I'm just like like the negatives outweigh the positives more and more every time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a year basically since I've done any kind of like hard drug. But no, I mean, my thing with soft drugs is like I can't smoke weed because I just get terrified, and alcohol makes me so sick, so insanely sick.
Damn.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna probably do heroin or something.
I knew that you were gonna go there. You would love it. You would.
Oh, I would love it
absolutely-
so much.
You already live like you're on heroin. There's treats on the bed. You've been stacking up cans. You don't leave the room to pee. You are living
I
your
leave
life.
the room to pee over 99% of the time.
I don't even know if that it is over 99% of the time.
How many times do you
You
think
might be having a 97% success rate of getting pee into the toilet.
Well, I mean, I pee like 6 times a day.
Do you pee that much?
Is that not right?
That's you know what I'm finding out with this.
Well, sometimes I get bored at work, so I just go and I piss and shit.
You can just will piss when you're bored.
Not much. It's more I can will shit because my diet is so bad.
Right, yeah.
It's just like, oh, there's always a little in there. Okay.
Dude, I realize like everyone else is, especially with this like Avengers thing. Everyone's talking about, oh, I'm gonna have to pee. I'm like, I think I piss and shit maybe like twice a day max. Max. So like as I'm everyone talking about like I'm gonna have to get up like 3 times in the Avengers movie. I'm like, God, people are peeing a lot. I guess.
I mean, just don't drink a soda during it.
Yeah, don't eat food at the movies. It's never like it's a bad deal. You're always. I can't remember the last time I got up to go to the bathroom in a movie. I'm also good at holding it, which was forced on me by my parents on road trips. Because much like Michael Jackson's
another
father,
strength that has been abused into Nick.
Well, dude, just like Michael Jackson's father, they were looking out for me. Because look, man, I would have been lazy like you, and I would have been pissing.
I have a lot of very practical skills. For example, if anyone tries to specifically graze my neck lovingly, hacha!
I hate that, dude. But yeah, I don't give up my piss. Some people are out here. Some people are out here giving up their piss at the drop of a hat.
You can't be pissing in toilets that you don't own, because then you don't know where it goes.
Yeah, that's my big. And the problem is, you piss in a seemingly innocuous toilet, flush it down, and boom, 23andMe now has your DNA.
It's true.
And they're going to frame you for owning slaves somehow.
Does that come up in 23andMe?
I think so. I watched there was an insane 23andMe commercial. Have you seen the one that I'm talking about where it's like the white guy in the 1800s talking to a slave, and he's like if we get to the north we can be together, and she's like, and they're both like crying, like holding each other's hands, and then it's a 23andMe commercial. It's like this story made possible by, it's about finding out that your grandfather fucked a slave or vice versa. It's a big selling point of 23andMe.
That's funny because, like, out of context, it's like, oh, they're in love, but then you zoom out and he's like leaving his wife and children.
Yeah, to run off with a slave.
Yeah, to run off with someone he owns.
Insane.
Damn.
Which, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that.
Nick went, what do you know? And I just went,
No, it's fun, but it's nuts, dude.
yeah.
I don't want to find out what my exact genetic makeup is. I like playing fast and loose with what people think I am.
Well, you don't want to know how Jewish you are.
I don't want to know how Jewish I am. I mean, well, we know a little bit. I do kind of know through my mother's 23andMe. But I don't want the breakdown. Because apparently, like, the alleles of DNA vary slightly. So, like, you can be more something than your parents because of how DNA breaks. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I just, like,
You definitely look like you come, maybe it's just because you're so tan, but you look like you come from some sort of farming culture.
Yeah, somebody told me that I looked, fuck, I always forget this. What the guy said. Lebanese. I was hanging out with a guy. It was first time meeting a guy.
Yeah, you do. Picturing you younger, I do see you like playing soccer, and then you run up to an American soldier who gives you a candy bar.
He gives me a candy bar, and then immediately like he's shot from a rooftop, and
blood all over you.
I hold his hand. We're both crying. I don't know his name, but we shared a moment.
Yeah,
and then I gladly eat the payday that he gave me. Well, no, but no,
he gives you like the shittiest candy.
He gives me the worst candy bar.
It's like Almond Joy or something.
Yeah. That's why the guy shot him.
Coconut.
No, but it would.
I think more movies should be like Cloud Atlas, where like
I love Cloud Atlas.
I haven't seen it, but I like the idea that they flash to other yous who are different races.
Yeah. It's great, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't that bad yet, but yeah, Cloud Atlas is good, dude. Tom Hanks doing all the voices is pretty sick. No, what?
Now I forget, is Tom Hanks good or bad?
As an actor?
No, I know that, but I mean, as a
I think he's part of it.
You think he's part of
dude,
it?
the more I examine footage of Tom Hanks, I'm just like, this guy has a dark secret. I'm
examine footage. You're in like the TV room from Watchmen.
Yeah, literally. Like, dude, no, I'm serious. Like, just watch any interview with Tom Hanks, and it's like the man is wearing a facade at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I all of my instincts on who and who isn't a pedophile is just like based on vibes.
Yeah, you just size him up, and you're like, him.
But that's how most stuff works, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure.
What
What about me? Am I a pedophile?
There's a lot of dark potential in you.
Mm-hmm.
You could. I'm not. I am not. You're not a pedophile right now, but I'm not shutting the door on you accidentally crossing some wires one day and never being able to go back.
What if like you finally talked me into doing acid? You're like, this is gonna expand your mind. You're gonna find peace with yourself. You're gonna look in the mirror and really love who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take it and I want nothing but to consume children.
Yeah. I mean, believe me, I've thought about this. Because there was a point in time, like before I had spent enough time with you, I was like, I think acid would really help Brendan. And then as I got more and more insights into your dark mind, I was like, some of these doors should stay shut.
Oh yeah,
We don't need to open these doors.
I'm trying to close as many doors as I can.
Yeah. Not good. The whole thing, what I was going to say, the thing about being a Lebanese, a really bad way to meet somebody I was hanging out with Pierce, and his friend is this very famous Vine guy.
Uh-huh.
And the way I found out the Lebanese thing, I'd been talking to him for maybe 20 minutes. I was like, if you had to guess what race I was, what would you say?
The classic Nick Oldershaw Open.
He goes, what are you, like Lebanese? And I go, thanks, I'm going to use that. I thought I was going to get a laugh. He just looked at me horrified, and Pierce just like, we're standing in Shaggy's Pizza, and Pierce goes, what are you doing?
So how do you think you're going to use that best?
Get booked. I'm just going to start wearing robes.
Yeah, that would be good. I think that would be good. Just full, like, Doctor Strange robes.
Yeah.
Just like misunderstanding completely what being an Arab is.
Should I do? I'm not even saying outright I'm an Arab. I'm just like foreign. I'm just tan with strange clothes. People are like, we should book him at the Lyric Hyperion.
Yeah. You just have like a large jewel somewhere on your person.
I've been meaning to acquire some jewels, honestly.
I think jewels would suit you.
Yeah, I'm so afraid that I'm afraid of becoming a ring guy. I feel like if I ever had enough money to afford one ring, I would just start amassing rings.
You would just immediately go Rich Voss.
And my hands suck for rings. I have
oh, yeah.
My hands are scary. If you look at them, they look like they're going to reach out of the darkness and grab you.
Well, I think if you wore rings, you wouldn't look like the man who acquired wealth for rings. You would look like his son.
I would look like a grave robber. I would look like I got these rings out of fucking caskets.
You're just wearing all old lady jewelry.
Yeah.
Just pearls.
Yeah. That's probably it. That's gotta be it.
We should start robbing graves. You never hear about people doing that anymore.
How bad? What do you think the penalties are?
It can't be that bad.
Because the problem is they take whatever you steal, you gotta hide because they'll confiscate that if they find it. But like, What do you how much time do you think you do for defiling a grave?
5 years. I mean, how can they get you for more than that? Like what? So it'd be like trespassing, I guess.
Do people get buried with jewels anymore?
That I don't know.
Because I also feel like that's
Yeah, I feel like that probably
because now that shit is that's part of the estate, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe rappers being buried with jewels.
Well, I don't know about all that.
No?
Yeah, they probably are.
Yeah. What, you're gonna go to the grave not looking
Not
rich?
iced the fuck out.
Not iced the fuck out. I want to get buried with jewels I didn't have in life.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my will, that my family has to buy jewels
For you.
for me. For my grave.
That's so sick to die and make the surviving members of your family like operate at a loss.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna do is I am going to have everybody co-sign a loan with me, and I'm gonna have like a little device attached, somehow hooked up to my heart, that like my heart beating prevents the paperwork from going through. And then the moment I die, the
So
loan
you-
gets booked.
You would invent a device.
Yes.
This would be the first device. And you'd also invent like a legal clause. You'd have to like patent like, this is insane. I love this. So is this like an alternate reality where where you're already a millionaire or like?
I think this is an alternate reality where I have this loan in my queue at work hidden from my supervisors. That's like I've done the work. I've like processed the loan myself.
Right.
I've finalized the funding.
I love that.
Yeah,
how
that's what I want to tank my whole career for like $8,000.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, $8,000 is like,
Oh damn! I didn't even realize that was the exact amount you lost.
lost, quote unquote.
Uh huh.
Yeah, damn, that stinks. That I would.
Did you ever say what happened on here, or can you?
No, we said it on the live podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Which got mangled, unfortunately.
Damn. Well, that'll never happen
yeah,
again.
Yeah.
That will never happen again. We would never do that to you, the listeners, our best friends.
If we do that show again, we should just like we'll just bring our own shit.
Yeah. I got a new camera.
That'll be nice.
Pretty
no, yeah, I would be. Look, I would be. I remember the day that it happened that I got kicked out because my roommate smoked so much weed that I like absorbed it like through osmosis and I don't smoke weed at all. I don't.
They were probably coming into your room at night and just blowing it in your nose.
Yeah, to fuck with me. I don't know. They fucked themselves because now like our rent was not a problem ever. As I was, I don't want to get into. Anyway,
You were covering for them.
no. I wasn't covered. I don't want to fucking say that. I mean, I like helped them with money when they needed it. Like me having all this money benefited everybody in the house, right? Basically, and they smoke so much fucking weed. It's really, really hard to fail a drug test through secondhand smoke, and I apparently
It's
fucking
nigh impossible.
It's not impossible, and I fucking failed that. Like, like they double test. They sent it away to a lab to verify. They're like, there are high amounts of THC in your urine.
Did they like take a new sample or no? They just retested
No, they
them?
don't take new sample. They take that one.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So I'm knocked out for life because it looks like I lied to the medical study.
Yeah.
So I'm done. You know.
I mean, in a way, though, I feel like. Would you agree that you were going to keep doing those medical studies until you were paralyzed or dead?
No, because if I had done this one, I would have like. The problem is not doing this one really fucked me financially. Like really, really fucked me.
Yeah.
So I would have. This probably would have been the only one that I did all year because now I have a bunch of job. Like I've been getting paid to act, which is really not like getting paid day rates is nuts. It's like I make half of my rent in a day. It's and like those have kept coming my way, but the problem is like now my account was overdrafted, so like it went into that. Basically, the stability that it was providing me to throw myself into like creative efforts and like working on videos with the people with all our friends and stuff, that's gone now. So now I have to miss shoots. I've got to work my regular job, and when I'm working my regular jobs, like I can't get off in time to do the creative stuff I want to do. It really fucked me.
Yeah.
But I remember I came over here after I found that I had been knocked out completely. And I think I was like, the first time I've been on the verge of tears in many years, I was talking to you and I was like, I should be in hospital jail right now.
It's what you
That's
yearn
where I
for.
belong. I do, dude. I miss my friends there. I miss the nurses. I miss Bana. I miss Tony. They were listening to our podcast. They were listening. They were fans of Coward Hour.
Well, maybe they'll listen to this.
It's not going to help.
No, but I mean, then they'll be like, "Aw."
You want to know why it's
Maybe
not gonna
they'll
help?
reach out on
Because
Facebook.
here's the thing: in me talking about how I definitely don't smoke weed and I definitely should have passed that drug test, I've also admitted to all of the acid that I've done in my life, which I didn't disclose on any of the forms.
Is that on the forms?
Yeah, you have to. They're like, have you ever done LSD or psychedelics? And I was like, no, sir, I'm a good boy. Like, I fucking Nick Godejohn the whole thing. I was like, no, ma'am.
Nick Godejohn, the fucking goat.
the greatest of all time. You see that they cast like? Have you been? You know, they made it into a series on Hulu.
They absolutely should have cast me.
They should have cast you.
I know. It's the part I was born to play. How many fucking fat-jawed retards are there in...
Well, they got a Disney kid to play him.
That's fucked up.
It's so fucked, dude.
I see those Disney kids. I work right by the building. They're fucking hot, dude. Fuck them.
It's like, why would you want to cast somebody who you have to, like, make ugly? Like,
Yeah.
cast us.
Cast me,
Genuine
a
psycho.
ghoul.
Dude, I love the fucking text messages between him and Gypsy Rose. It's
Oh, man.
so funny. Her Facebook statuses are... The funniest thing about Gypsy
When
Rose
did she
is-
get out of jail? It's got to be in like 5 years, right?
soon, yeah. It's in, like...
We got to
4
get
or
her
5
on the
years.
pod.
It is funny that, like, Gypsy Rose...
What if I just start like dating her?
No, you can't date. Dude, she would completely manipulate you.
I know.
She totally would.
Yeah, she would run all over me.
She'd validate you pissing in jars. She'd think it was like from. It
I would be sending her different personas of me pissing in jars.
You're just pissing in a jar in a top hat, just with a monocle.
And then I'm the Joker pissing.
Yeah, dude.
I love that, like, all criminals love the Joker. All, like, internet criminals.
He's great.
So fucking sick. Who are you going to dress as when you do your crime?
Oh, it's tough. I can't do the Joker.
I want to be, I want to be a shittier villain than the Joker. I'm going to do my shooting dressed like Count Dooku.
Yeah, it would be really funny to just start like it goes from because James Holmes didn't really look like the Joker. It would be incredible to have the first cosplay mass shooter. Like, he's got the full General Grievous armor.
He looks fucking sick.
He has the faceplate. Like,
I want to roll in like a droideka and jump out.
like he prepped 6 hours. Like got his makeup exactly right just to blow it all away when he shoves the gun in his mouth after he takes out 10 people.
It is so funny that James Holmes is like, I'm the Joker, and got like just the hair color, like the most basic of details, so wrong.
Yeah, it's not. He didn't like. Did he ever explain why he had orange hair?
I don't think so.
The Joker has literally never had orange hair.
No. Maybe he was like trying to do his like, you know how people do like they're like, oh, it's Brendan the Hedgehog, and it's like Sonic but a different color or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he was doing like his own version of
the Joker.
Yeah.
Maybe he. I mean, I love to imagine that maybe it was just like extremely last minute. Like he didn't think he was gonna do it that, and he was like, he's like, fuck, what do I have? Hair? I have orange hair dye. It's got to be today. All right. Just like,
Like, yeah, like
He was-
he had all the guns and shit.
yeah, he was on a time
It's like
crunch.
me. It's like me camping where I get out in the woods and I'm like, fuck.
God damn.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Who would I dress up as? I would want to dress up as somebody who I would have to like. Like
You'd
I
have
would
to
be,
explain.
Yeah, I would be waiting mid shooting for someone to ask like. Hey, who are you supposed to be? I'd be like, actually, I'm Jigen from Lupin the Third. It's a really good show. You should watch it if you survive this. It's really, really good. Castle of Cagliostro is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, you're a fucking Comic-Con elitist that you're shooting.
Yeah. The killer we found.
You
the
would
killer's
shoot up something gay. You'd be like, you'd shoot up like an Ingmar Bergman festival.
Yeah,
or something.
and it's like, we found the killer's diary. Killer's diary. He brags about playing. He brags about listening to My Bloody Valentine and Spiderland by Slint. He was
The refined incel.
yeah. He was obsessed with the game Seiken Densetsu 3 on the Super Nintendo.
Damn. Wasn't there a comic who shot people? Like
Was there?
I thought there was like an open micer in Florida who shot a bunch of people.
I mean, were they being bad?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. It'd be funny. Actually, I looked it up and they were all being
They were
naughty.
being pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Because sometimes, like, you go up there and you try to tell the truth, right?
Mhm.
You try, and they're not listening, and you're like, I got to take it into my own hands.
That would be funny
Comedy's going to change the world.
to like go up, tell one joke, it bombs, and then just go fuck and shoot yourself.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing I ever saw. Was a guy in an open mic, like clearly doing it for the first time, looking over notes, super nervous, and he's like on the stage, like 8-miling himself up, like in the mirror, like getting really amped. And then they call his name, and he goes up and he tells his first joke, and it like he didn't even wait long enough to confirm that it bombed. Just people didn't laugh immediately, so he went fuck.
Do you know what I go down these weird stand-up rabbit holes. I don't even know what I get out of it. I get upset. Like, I go these YouTube rabbit holes. I just came out of my tornado K-hole where I was just watching footage of tornadoes that have destroyed houses and killed people. And for a while last year, I was watching stand-up competitions at the LA Anime Convention, which they have every year, and it's filmed professionally.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. I watched the tryouts. I watched like the pre, and then I watched like the final night. There's like hundreds of videos of this shit. It's so good. But my new thing is watching high schoolers do stand up at high school talent shows. I really love watching it. I don't know why.
What is it like?
You can hear people like making fun of them in the audience the whole time because it's always like a student who's filming it, and you can just hear like a sea of like 30 different people spread out across the crowd being like, "This sucks."
Oh man, I was not allowed to do stand up at my high school talent show.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Watching these made me realize. I hope I never have to do stand up for an auditorium full of high school kids.
Oh no, that'd be
because
hell.
they like it'll even be the thing where like when I go home to help my mom, like with my mom teaches an art class at middle school, and I'll go in to like help her just because she has like 50 kids and it's insane. And like when I'm home, if I can help her, it's good. And like a fun treat at the end of the class, like my mom will be like, "Do you guys want to see some videos that Nick and his friend Dom made?" Which you would think are like Dom's videos are nice because they do seem geared towards like a younger audience. And like when I'm making them, I'm like, "Oh yeah, kids would enjoy this. Like teenagers would enjoy this." Then you
They
play,
fucking light you up.
and they just hate. They just are dead silent and don't get it and don't like it. And it's like, and you're just like, well, fuck, who is this for?
That's a good question.
But you know,
What is anything we
it's so,
make
dude,
for?
it's so brutal to be like, yeah, it's this night. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this. It's like, I think you guys will think that it's funny. And then like, dude, when middle schoolers don't think you're funny, you're just like, all right, I should kill myself. Definitely.
What race are these teens?
Mostly
I
white.
bet
These are
bombing
white
for
kids.
black teens is the worst bomb you can have.
I think that I might be able to embrace that more than just the indifference of 13-year-olds feels. I don't know why, because it's like they shouldn't have any power over you. But in that moment, like when you try to make a 13-year-old laugh and it doesn't work, you're just like, fuck, man. Why do I
it
want
about
you to
makes
like
you
me?
ready to be the Joker.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Did you try to do stand up at your?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had this thing called Follies that it was like half talent show, half sketch show, and I was head writer of the sketch portion.
Oh.
And I almost got suspended for that because I wrote this sketch in iambic pentameter that it was like a bad like I was really into like Adult Swim and
It's funny that you hate alt comedy now.
yeah. Really into Adult Swim and Beckett, and I just wrote this like weird abstract thing. It was an iambic pentameter, and it was about like a king finding out that his wife had cheated on him with a horse, and then she gives birth to like a baby with a horse head. And,
Oh,
like,
I remember hearing about it. I remember you telling me about
yeah,
this.
but there was a reference in it to Mr. Hands. And the teacher whose job it was to read all the sketches and make sure that we weren't slipping in like references to drugs, because like that was the problem every other year, is that people would like try to slip in slang for weed into the sketches, and they would like have to Google it and figure it out. So I just caused the art teacher to Google Mr. Hands on a school computer, and understandably that didn't go over great. I think she watched the video of the man getting fucked to death by a horse,
Oh my god.
and I was not allowed to be head writer anymore. But it was like 2 weeks from the show, so the damage had been done.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to do stand up also, and she told me no, that it was too weird, and then the one sketch, like someone got sick and like they were a big part of the one sketch, and I was like, I could go out there and do 5 minutes. She was like, no, and I think we just like skipped that whole portion
Yeah.
or whatever. But I mean, it would have bombed because I didn't know how to do stand up then at
Right.
all.
Were you doing stand up in high school?
Not really. I think the first time I ever did anything like stand up, me and my friends, we just had a roast for our other friend,
Mm-hmm.
and so I did that. I watched it recently because I have like a private video in my Vimeo channel of it, and it's awful. But
Yeah.
I'm like doing well.
That was the same thing with me. I remember like when I it was like tail end of senior year. I graduated with like a 1.9 GPA.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the Magoobies competition. It was when I beat Isaac. That was the first time I met Isaac.
Mhm.
I mean, don't even know if I deserve to. Truthfully, if you look at both of our sets, I think it was anyone's call. But yeah, I remember I won the Magoobies competition. I took home money. I got like hundreds of dollars from doing stand up. It was a fucking competition. And I remember I went into my U.S. history class the next day, just feeling so good. And like I came into the class and Mr. Stevens was like, you know that you failed my class, right? And I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna be famous, see? Like
Cut to hospital jail. But yeah, so then I wrote like what I thought was an act. I didn't have anywhere to do it, so I just recorded myself doing it in my room.
Oh no.
And then I didn't put a laugh track on it, I just put like ambient sounds of like Russian train stations and shit and like pool halls. And I put it on SoundCloud as like the best of Brendan Crick from like 1980 to like 1993 or something.
You were attempting to do something.
Yeah, I was doing like an alt thing.
Right.
So it was like me doing bits, but like not getting one laugh throughout decades of performing, and it's just me in like different weird scenarios. It was bad. Like the idea was bad, the execution was bad.
But how old were you?
17.
That alone makes me want to bump that over to good.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But then also it was like 45 minutes long, so I was like, oh, I can headline.
excuse me, it was 45 minutes long?
Yeah, I had written 45 minutes of what I thought was material.
I take it back. That is bad.
Not one of it was joke. Not 1 second of it.
Where is this?
I don't have it anymore. I wish I did.
Oh my God.
I wish I had all the shit. I deleted it out of shame. One thing I wish I had was like, okay, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I had that, and then my sociology teacher, Mr. Wagner, he was asking everybody what we want to do when we grow up, and I was like, I want to be a comedian. He's like, have you ever done stand up? And I'm like, no. And he's like, all right, well, you're gonna do 5 minutes tomorrow in class.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I had to go home and like
that's such a cool
figure it out.
teacher.
I know. I want to thank him. He came into my restaurant once, like years later, and I was like, I hope I get his table. And then he's just like, we're gonna eat somewhere else. It's like, no, you did it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I should email him or something. But he
you can email your teachers.
yeah. Well, I mean, they have email addresses on like the school website. Probably.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can email your teachers. You should.
Yeah. But yeah, I came in the next day. I did 5 minutes. It went fine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, hey, do you want to also do it during your sister's class? Because she won't like it. And I'm like, yeah. So then he pulled me out of one of my other classes to come down to perform for her class too, just to irritate her.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, then this other, I wish I still had this. I had this, we did this show. There's this band in Lancaster called Testosteroso that had like a decent following, and a bunch of like new open micers. We all did stand up on their show, and the guy, like their sound guy, just recorded it all professionally.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a crisp, or I did at one point, a crisp, like professionally mixed 20-minute set of me just doing dog shit.
Yeah, I just got back the professionally recorded set from the show I did in North Hollywood, and it sounds really. It's just. I want to do something with it, like I want to animate it or something. I want to animate like a minute from it, but the joke that I want to do. There's like a drunk lady wooing through the whole thing, which like in the moment was like from the back of the room. It's like great response. It was everyone was laughing to hear that. I was like, all right, yeah, this is a good show. But the minute you hear it back on like crisp, like flack quality, I'm like, I can't do anything with this.
That sucks.
Is there a way to remove that? I mean,
Probably
I'm sure
not.
that there's not.
Yeah,
I'm so frustrated by that. But oh well.
that sucks.
I mean,
Well, Nick, you got anything to plug?
do I? No, I do not.
I will be in Philadelphia next week, May 1st. I will be at Philly Punchline. May 3rd, I will be headlining Victoria Freehouse. And the 4th, Cave presents Doug Smith. I'm on that show as well.
All right, then, there you go.
Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up portfolio showing growth. Fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self suck. Oh fuck, I busted already. I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady. Now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo heavy petting on a Friday night. Not talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just